Welcome to another episode of Menu Heroes Digest. I'm your host, Steven.
Today, we're going to be talking about the metaverse. Imagine, if you will, Steven, a virtual reality around you, ignoring the fact that we had anything to do with the January 6, 2021 insurrection. We hope to distract you with this colorful, goofy, polygon reality that we've created in our vain attempt to take the visuals of Ready Player One and other virtual reality stores without completely ignoring the meaning and subtext of what they were about. Just imagine, Steven. Hey, Mark, get out of here! Go! Shoot! Scram! Take your barbecue out of here, too!
Oh, what?
Man, Steven, can you believe that? Mark Zuckerberg just came into my house and just started advertising Meta.
Oh my god, Mark Zuckerberg.
Jerk. Yeah, what's his deal, man? Yeah.
Bruh.
Why does his skin look like so plasticky, It's weird.
I'm having major deja vu vibes. Have we done this bit before? I genuinely don't remember.
I don't think to this level. I mean, I've talked trash about Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook before,
Of course.
We've never had Mark Zuckerberg just break into my house and just to do an ad for Meta.
Huh. That was unintentionally creepy because of the deja vu I feel. But it was also really funny.
I mean, are you seeing into the future, Steven? Because I would have been warned, having just a billionaire just in my house, that, especially with, looking like, Mark Zuckerberg, like that was terrifying, man. I feared for my life.
Hey, it's a risk you take when you use other people's platforms. Today's episode is brought to you by Google, who, as we'll kindly remind you, owns YouTube. And thus can't do anything wrong.
Praise be the Google gods. Praise be the Google gods. Praise be the Google gods.
All right.
The Google gods. I'm sorry. We'll keep going.
All right. So, let's actually get started with today's stories, which, surprise, surprise, is all about big business.
Yep. You try and make your own little virtual reality, your imagination or other outlets, and nope, real world keeps creeping in, man. Hard to just enjoy a game anymore.
That pesky real world.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we've got GameStop.
Oh boy, what have they done today?
So, it's a little weird, because in March, they named, Jenna Owens as the COO, the Chief Operating Officer, at GameStop.
Yeah.
But in a regulatory filing on this past Friday, we learned that she's stepped down. They said that part of the reason was because her duties will be taken on by other members of the management team, and that she will receive 6 months of her base pay and the rest of her signing bonus as part of the agreement.
Now, again, for those listening at home, I'm just curious. I just want to clarify what exactly is there between a CEO and a COO. I'll admit I'm one of those that have a hard time telling difference.
Okay, well, a CEO stands for, Chief Executive Officer, while COO is Chief Operating Officer. And basically, it's, CEO and then COO. COO is the second in command, and they take what the CEO wants to do, and they basically make a business plan that works around it and makes it work.
Oh, okay. So it's basically, the number 2, or like the vice president.
It's like
vice of the...
Riker to Picard.
Right on. Okay, now I get it. All you need to do is speak that nerd talk, and I can understand better.
And I totally didn't have to Google that. Totally.
I didn't hear those keyboards, Steven. I ain't no snitch.
Yeah, there's not a lot to talk about when it comes to this story, because basically just one of the newly hired top executives stepped down, because Google is trying to reinvent itself as a digital e-commerce company, but they haven't shared any plans or any details of their plan. So, and of course, most of the people watching probably know about the wild ride that is GameStop stock.
Oh yeah, that was a whole thing last year, and a bit of this year as well. Because wait, wasn't like the Wall Street bets? Was that this year or last year?
I want to say it was this year, but everything's kind of just blends together at this point.
Yeah, and it's like 2020 and 2021 felt like 2 years on their own. So I'm thinking this has already been 4 years. It's already happened. So that's how my brain's working.
Well, you're a step ahead of me because my brain's not really working. Period.
I don't know. I do think it's kind of funny that we have 2 stories this week that are all about people who have just been hired in top executive positions and then left almost immediately.
Yeah.
And at least you can say with Jenna Owens, she at least held on for at least half a year, or somewhat of a actually not half, but you know what I mean. She's been there for a few months.
It doesn't feel like there's any bad reasons why she left. At least I didn't see any in the article.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the other executive later in the show.
Don't you worry, we got plenty of stories to come.
Oh, we've got plenty. So
yeah.
It's time to talk about Niantic. So they just released, and this is unrelated to the article we're reading, but they just released Pikmin Bloom. And Pikmin is one of those series that there's only 3 main games and 1 spin-off. But, they're fun games, and Pikmin are cute creatures, so I feel like this can work.
I mean, yes, it could, but if I was to put a bet on which one would do better, I would have thought the Harry Potter one would have done better. But we'll see. But I know we're about to talk about it. Yeah, I got no problem with Pikmin. No, Pikmin's cool.
So, Harry Potter, is it Wizards Unite? Yeah.
Wizards Unite, yes.
Wizards Unite was released about 2 years ago. And surprisingly, considering it's Harry Potter, it did not get as much of a fanfare as Pokemon Go did.
Well, Steven, Pokemon has an advantage over Harry Potter in that its creator is not been widely mocked and criticized throughout the internet.
Yeah.
That's the big advantage Pokemon has.
Don't get me wrong.
But honestly,
people complain about Pokemon, but
well, no,
at least the Pokemon creators aren't TERFs.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like people have some individual problems with how the games are and some of the brands. There's never the creator. No one's really after the creator so far. No one's after the creator of Pokemon right now.
For now.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I gotta cover all my bases, and we'll see. But honestly, it is kind of sad that the whole Harry Potter franchise and just overall brand has been kind of tarnished because of many of the creator J.K. Rowling's like comments and articles, and her like retweeting stuff from some of her other TERF friends and everything. That is just again is soured everyone's opinions on Harry Potter. And also the last movie was not. Also, the last movie was not good.
It's made it very hard for me to like Harry Potter, because I know that there's this whole debate about whether or not you should separate the art from the artist, but there is a difference when the artist is still making money off their art. Now, if you want to buy fan-made stuff of Harry Potter, that's different, because J.K. Rowling's not making money off of that.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're giving her any exposure she doesn't already have.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it's like how Michael Jackson has all these, controversial things that he probably did. But, you can listen to his music for the most part, because he doesn't get paid. Because he's dead.
Yeah.
R. Kelly? No.
Nah, man. And honestly, it's like it was. Okay, my first example was going to be something like H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh yeah.
Because most of us nerds are into cosmic horror, are interested in some of the crazier ideas he had, but also he had plenty of very awful ideas about people and certain groups of people.
Wasn't he an anti-Semitic?
Dude, he was not only anti-Semitic. He was all for like
the final solution.
England, like going into various African countries and taking what they want, or because in his mind, he was educating in his mind, like Britain and like very colonials were like going to those countries and educating the savages and like making them, pure and shit like that. Yeah. So I know. Hey, let me have that one, okay? It's about H.P. Lovecraft person, and he gets one S word. All right.
Okay, that's your one S word for this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it on him because he deserves it.
Marvel gets to throw in bad words here and there, so.
Yeah. So that's my one, and the guy himself had very low opinions on anyone that wasn't white. And again, if he was still alive today, I would not go anywhere near any of the Necronomicon or any of the Call of Cthulhu stuff.
But he's dead.
But thankfully he's dead. So he's dead, and by all means, I can enjoy his stuff. Enjoy some of the crazy cosmic stuff he had in peace.
Yes. I know it's frustrating for Xander sometimes, because he likes Harry Potter. But we won't buy Harry Potter stuff for him because, we aren't gonna support J.K. Rowling. And he understands. He just, he's like, I wish she wasn't terrible. I'm like, yeah, me too, buddy.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, man. I totally. It is sort of like one more example of a terrible person that is still alive but made some good stuff is Orson Scott Card, who created the Ender's Game series or Ender series. Everyone, like so many like my older friends and everything, or older people I know that are really old and love sci-fi, talk about how good Ender's Game is and everything, and it sounds good, but unfortunately, Orson Scott Card is very much a homophobe. Like he believed that gay marriage was going to absolutely destroy this country and everything. He may still think that way to this day, but like he has been strongly anti-gay. And like some of his more recent works have been of him depicting gays in a not so great light. I think like he did a retelling of Hamlet where it was like Hamlet's father touched him as a kid or something. No, it was like his uncle touched him as a kid or something. Or it was really gross, man. And it's just like knowing that guy, you know, gets a paycheck every, or gets a little
royalties,
compensation every time royalties, whatever. Whenever somebody buys his book, it's like that keeps me away from it. Like I honestly don't care if it's the greatest sci-fi book of all time. I'm not giving that guy money.
Yeah.
No siree.
Yeah.
But
speaking of same-sex marriage, Virginia had their election lately, and we turned into a red state, which is not surprising because, you know, in the past elections, we've always voted for the opposite of what's in the White House. But, you know, it's still like, I didn't want Terry McAuliffe, but I didn't really want Youngkin. But at least it doesn't seem like Youngkin's gonna try and revoke same-sex marriage. He said, I don't agree with it, and I'm like, okay, well, that's your opinion, but you're not gonna legally do anything about it, so you can keep your crappy opinion to yourself.
I know. It's like, I have warned people that Virginia is a purple state.
Yeah.
You know, we've seemed to be going blue for a while, like from 2008 onward. It seemed like we were, you know, slowly becoming more and more liberal and more progressive. But it's like, I have seen the red parts of the state. You know, at my job, there are some conservatives of all hell. Like, there are some people who truly, at my job, who truly believe the Democrats are responsible for all that's wrong in the world. They honestly think that, and try and aggravate me and try and get under my skin or try and say some stuff to upset me and everything. And I try to ignore them, but I'm stuck at that job right now.
Yeah.
So it did not shock me. It was heartbreaking to see Terry to see Youngkin win, but didn't shock me because those people are still in Virginia.
Yeah.
The people that that agree with his ideology are very much in pockets of the state, and it's just very unfortunate that this happened. All I can say is that hopefully the next election things can turn around, or that they can get better candidates, because I mean, it's like,
anyway, let's get back to Niantic, because we went on a huge tangent.
Wow, it's like either GTA or Niantic gets us into into some tangents, man. Wow.
Yeah, so basically the numbers for Wizards Unite just dwindled. And so while the whole AR, augmented reality thing, might work for Pokemon, and we'll see if it works for Pikmin, it just didn't seem to work for Harry Potter.
I was gonna say, because I knew with how popular Pokemon Go was, there'd be other people who would try that. And granted, it's Niantic; they are the ones doing it.
Yeah.
So they can do whatever they want. But I did felt like if there was one other brand that I think could have at least be close to the success of Pokemon Go, it is Harry Potter, because there's all kinds of cool creatures and monsters all throughout the lore of Harry Potter. I mean, granted, it's J.K. Rowling taking things from other different, folklore, mythology, and everything like that. But she has done a fun spin on some of these creatures, like the red caps, the manticores, dementors. Obviously, those would obviously be kind of like the hippogriffs. She she had an interesting eye, or an interesting way of doing a fun spin on some of these classic, and some of these forgotten creatures. And
I mean, give credit where credit's due, but
again, she had some interesting ideas, but unfortunately her bad ideas are the ones that keep popping up and are hurting the brand's name.
And see, it's no, I'm not gonna get on this tangent. Okay, I am gonna get on this tangent. So, and it's not like she just said something bad in the past, and people found it, and now they're like, oh, okay, well, she said that, then we had to quote-unquote cancel her. No, Because it's like she said these things, people called her out on it, and then she doubled down on these things. It's one thing if somebody says something and people call them out and they're like, oh, okay, I realized what I said was wrong, and I'm going to strive to make changes for it. And then it's a whole nother thing for them to actually do changes, but, you know, that's better than them doubling down on it.
Yeah, and like...
I mean, you should...
Several times, her fan base has tried to reach out to her to try and explain why some of the things are wrong and some of these things are harmful to, especially to the trans community. And she insists that she did nothing wrong, or that they're the ones that are being insightful and mean and cruel to her and making things all about herself. And it's like, okay, yeah, all right, so this is who you really are. All that talk about inclusion and being open-minded was total BS. So at least I now know.
Yeah, at least we know where we stand with you.
Yeah.
So, let's move on to everyone's favorite game, Fortnite. And I'll let you take the lead on this one.
Take me to Tomato Town. I don't know the whole song. I know the goofy version of that song, but I can't quite remember everything about it. But anyway, this is like one of like 1,000 stories I sent to Steven about, and I'll admit I've only glanced at some of this, but the basic idea is, well, you know, Fortnite's a big popular game, you know, makes a ton of lot money. It makes a lot of money in terms of DLCs and everything. And Tim Sweeney, the founder of Epic Games, is a very rich man.
He's a billionaire, in fact.
And yeah, he is, yes. And you know, and you would think like being a billionaire, you know, that'd be enough. $1 billion, maybe $5 billion. That's a lot, right? Maybe, you know, I don't really need a whole lot else. You know, maybe I could like give some out, you know, to charity and everything, or to help people out. Unfortunately, we are seeing more and more billionaires saying, "No, I want all of it. I don't want to give nothing to nobody. I made this. You don't get nothing. You continue to scrape the bottom of the barrel, the bottoms of my shoe, you peasants." And you know, and they're getting even more riled up because there's been talks of, you know, billionaire taxes, you know, having billionaires pay a little more in taxes than those in middle or lower class citizen, middle of, you know, society and everything. So the CEO of the company, which again, it's like Fortnite, super crazy, you know, they basically print money. And
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they can.
That's like
that's why they give out free games on their storefront like every month.
Yeah, but they also get you the DLCs, or they do pay to play stuff, right? That's some other game.
They do some free to play stuff. Then they do, you know, cosmetics, DLCs, stuff like that. And then they do regular games like Steam does. But then Epic will do this thing where they just give out, you know, whole games. And like it's yours to keep forever. And you don't have to pay for it. Which is cool, but like, yeah. I guess in this guy's mind, he's like, "Yep, I've given back to the people."
Games are enough to feed your families, right? That's enough to like pay your bills, right? There you go. There's your games. Don't ask me anything else.
And I mean,
don't dare ask about taxes.
It's not like we're asking him to just give us free money. We're just asking him to pay his fair share.
Yeah, man, it's like that being a big thing in like 2017, where like they were like, you know, again, while Trump was in office, they were trying to like cut the billionaires' taxes down, having them pay less, and it's that trickle down economy ideology from back in like the Reagan era.
Yeah. That,
well, if billionaires have more money, people have more money, then they'll spend more.
That's the thing; they're not spending it.
We've seen time and time again, you know, billionaires and CEOs of big companies, they just sit on their money. They are like, they'll like maybe build a bigger house. Maybe they'll get an island, perhaps. But they ain't doing nothing else. That they're sitting on that money. That's not flowing into the economy at all. Yeah, it's like, my economic teacher explained this to me, and I will always remember this about how if you have like a big executive at a company, like he's walking down the street and he finds $300. He's either going to ignore that $300 or he's just going to, just put his pockets and not do anything with that. You get like a homeless person and they find that $300. They're going to spend that $300, on food, on new clothes, on what have you. And I know some people say, oh, they're probably going to spend it on drugs or whatever. Well, you don't know that. You don't know what that person's mind is. They might actually do something to help, keep themselves alive and everything, or, get a chance to like, clean themselves up or whatever, It's like, granted, $300 can't do you as much as it could have, but, I guarantee, again, like my economy teacher has explained to me, a poor person is more likely to spend money than a rich person because, whenever they have a chance to have money, they will, use it more,
It's something they don't have a lot of.
Exactly. And that actually helps keep the economy flowing.
Because it's money that goes back into circulation. But these rich people are like, nope, I'm gonna sit on my money. And I get it. I don't want to spend money either. I'm a broke person. I'm a college student. Money is hard to get. But my God, if I had billions of dollars, I would be spending it on all my family, all my friends, and if there were people who needed stuff like life-saving surgeries, I'd be paying for those. Because, I've been in situations like that. I don't want anyone to have to, suffer because our government doesn't care about them enough to put any good sort of medical care into our system.
All right, we've gone through a lot of tangents right now. We don't need to go into the awful, crippling healthcare system in our country. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And,
we do.
And this over here at Epic, Tim Sweeney, go around telling all these BS claims of like every time a company's value doubles, government wants to force them to sell 25% of their stake and everything to pay the government stuff and everything. And it's again, this is all messed up, like Reagan era logic, and just screams of somebody who just like
is entitled.
Is entitled, who believes that that he earned all the money he had, which, let's be real here. Okay, yes, you did help find the company in 1991, but like, dude, you have made so many cutbacks. Like, I guarantee you hasn't always paid his fair share to his employers. He is, and like many CEOs, they've always found some way to, cheap out or always manage to like undercut, work his workers from their fair share, and so it's not shocking that he doesn't want to pay his fair share when it comes to taxes, and any of these CEOs do, and it's not shocking, but it is always just disappointing to hear,
Yeah.
And what's even worse is that like, oh man, we're gonna go into another tangent right now. But it's like, I know, like again, one of the things that like the Biden administration first promised when they were campaigning was we're gonna make billionaires pay their fair share in taxes, and you're already hearing there might be giving them another tax cut.
Are you serious?
Bernie Sanders jumped on them for that and like posted on his Twitter saying, "You cannot seriously tell me that we made a big deal about your campaign to make billionaires pay their fair share and then give them another tax cut. That's wrong, and you know that's not going to help the economy at all. And again, it's like
Jesus Christ.
It's like, yeah. And do you wonder why? Do you wonder why Biden's approval rate is going so low? Because he's not keeping any of his promises.
I swear. I mean, we already knew Biden was just a Republican in sheep's clothing.
Yes, we know that. But again, I got coworkers in a row that think he's the most liberal man on the entire planet, and he's the Republicans' greatest enemy. And I look at them and think, dude, if his colors were red and not blue, you would kiss the ground under his feet, man. You know that.
Oh my god.
Because he's not really challenging Republicans, and he's not doesn't have any he is a mostly conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, oh my god. Okay, there's no such thing as left wing in the US. To the rest of the world, we are a right wing country, and that's it.
I mean, it's sad to hear, but
it's true.
Somebody's got to say it. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the rest of the world thinks it's crazy that it costs $2,500 for us to ride in the Wee Woo machine. And yes, I realize we said we weren't going to talk about healthcare. But, it's the easiest example. Go for the low-hanging fruit, I always say.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're talking about everything else tonight, so might as well. Oh, man, we are...
This is going to be a long episode.
You want to try and do a two-parter? Because, it's already, almost 11 o'clock, dude.
Do you have work tomorrow?
I have to work on Fridays.
Oh, I
didn't know that.
I did not, actually. My bad. We might have to do a two-parter, but I won't have any time to record this weekend.
And I know if we do this next week, there's gonna be way more stories to cover. So.
All right, so we'll skip a couple of our stories.
Okay.
We'll skip the Twitch one. We'll just very briefly cover Squid Game one, and
I do want to at least talk about that for a brief minute, but
which one?
Yeah. Well, the Squid Game one. I think that one I thought was very important.
And we'll talk about one of the Blizzard ones.
Yeah.
The CEO one.
We'll briefly mention that a guy named Gary Bowser pleads guilty to pirating a bunch of Nintendo stuff. Haha, it's funny. His name is Bowser, and he pirated a lot of Nintendo stuff. Ha ha ha. So long, Gary Bowser. There, I said it.
Yeah. So basically, real quick, Gary Bowser is on Team Executor, which makes Switch hacking tools. The problem is they were like, oh, you know what we should do? We should sell licenses so people have to pay to use our OS and hack their Switch. And that is what set off all the red flags. That and them helping, gamers find pirated copies of games. That's a no-no. You thought we'd learn stuff from Napster and all that, but no, we didn't.
Yeah, Steven, people nowadays are they just are so careless, and they're so easy to get themselves caught,
Also in the news...
Constantly, and it's shocking to see law and doing it on a live chat or on social media, just bragging about it, and it's like, wow, are you all really that dumb? Or are you all that entitled that you just don't think you're going to have consequences? Because life finds a way. Life finds a way.
Also in the news about Nintendo, they closed a couple satellite offices, namely the ones in California and the one in Toronto.
Yeah.
Now, when I saw it, I saw the name Redwood and thought it was Redmond, and I was like, Nintendo's closing their North American headquarters? And then I read the article and I was like, oh wait, no, Redwood, not Redmond. Because Redmond, Washington is where their North American headquarters is. Or at least North American. Duh.
Yeah, that would be on every website. Like, gaming or not, that would be a huge deal if they did that. But and this is also a big deal as well because like 100 people are losing their jobs and everything.
Yeah,
and that always sucks. But,
it's also uncharacteristic of Nintendo. They very rarely will they close offices and restructure. In fact, I think the article said that the last times they did were in 2014. They restructured Nintendo of Europe, and they downsized their South Korea branch in 2016. They didn't close it; they just downsized it. And they mentioned how Iwata, who, he passed away years ago. That was one of the first celebrity deaths I actually cried about. He was resistant to layoffs. I remember that he'd take pay cuts during the Wii U era because, sales just weren't good. Which is crazy because I love the Wii U. The Wii U's a great console. I understand why it failed, but I still love mine. I can play, like, every retro game on it, so it's very handy.
Well, again, if more CEOs were like Iwata and actually showed to care about their employees, I might not talk as much trash about CEOs and billionaires as often as I do. But unfortunately, we live in a world where the Iwatas of the world are in the vast minority.
We live in a society. I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, in our society, this one streamer who's been doing streaming for 11 years now, had her entire business completely ruined just because, like, she shared the same name as this little show you heard of, maybe heard of, called Squid Game. This little indie darling on Netflix. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know anything about it or heard anything about it. Yeah, it's just
I heard it's a documentary. I'm sorry.
I mean, it will in the future. I mean, it's
not far off now.
Oh no, this is when they say not too distant future, the distance is only like a year or two, dude.
Anyway.
But yes, Lydia Ellery, has been streaming for 11 years. She's been building up her YouTube and Twitch channel, has been going under the name Squid Game. Spelled the exact same way that the show, the new hit show is, or I've gone to like some Squid Gaming. She's done two things there, and again, she's had a fairly decent YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram page and everything, and again, just minding her own business, not really doing anything really, out there crazy, but it's just one of those things where a show from another country. Manages to capture the attention of the entire world, and the fan base of said world sees that this woman has a YouTube and Twitch handle with like the hashtag Squid Game. No, not the hashtag, but like the
handle,
the ad thing, the handle Squid Game, and decided to just be as mean and as cruel and as harassing as possible, just because
she won't give it to him.
She wasn't doing it. She wasn't doing anything related to the show, and she didn't have to because she had the brand Squid Game before they did. And this is not me saying that she's liable to sue the creator of Squid Game or anything, but it's just like this has been her little like like internet business for 11 years, done fairly well, but again, it's not the big worldwide phenomenon, and because of that, the fandom just went after her.
And it's not the fault of the creators of Squid Game. It's, just people are mad because she won't sell or give them the handle. People are literally like harassing her because they won't just give them the handle. This has happened in the past, and it will continue to happen in the future because people are just stupid about stuff like that.
Oh, you want to have another tangent there, Steven?
No, I don't. I don't think we have time for another tangent.
Well, I'll keep it simple. Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man fans are getting more and more toxic. I'd say many fandoms are getting more and more toxic, but I'm seeing a lot of toxicity in the Spider-Man fandom because, like, we already had a commercial. We already had a trailer for the new Spider-Man movie, No Way Home.
Yes.
It already came out. A lot of people like it. But usually this is the point where there would be a second trailer. Or there'd be, TV trailers because it's only coming out next month.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been. Sony and Marvel have chosen to only do one trailer, and so far they haven't released any posters or any second trailers. The Spider-Man fans are losing their minds and are going after every other Sony trailer out there and giving it negative pressing the thumbs down button and just writing, release the next trailer. Guys, you are making a fuss over a commercial. A thing that we all collectively hate and want to skip over. But you want it so bad that you want to attack, a
other
company.
Movies. Yes,
other movies.
I want more information, but I'm not going to go do that. Now, if Sony and Marvel are making a mistake by only releasing one trailer so far, because they know that people's expectations are super high for this movie, and by not releasing a trailer, they're setting up the movie up for failure. But that doesn't mean people should go and attack unrelated trailers.
Well, I disagree, because I have seen Sony spoil. I have seen Sony just like not the whole movie, but give out the big important plot points of a movie in their trailers, and I am kind of proud of them for holding back, for them not spoiling so much of their movie in any of their trailers, of letting me, the consumer, trust that I'm going to see this movie in theaters and just wait to see all the big surprises or any of the any of the new stuff that they're doing. So this is where I disagree with you on that. But,
that's a very fair point, and it does make sense. I want to be surprised. Don't get me wrong, but I understand if the movie does bad, which is not going to because it's Spider-Man. But if it did go bad, it would not be a surprise. But yeah.
Again, I was say I do not see a world where this movie flops.
Oh yeah, no.
It may not make as much money as the previous Spider-Man movies, but it is not flopping.
It's not gonna flop at all. There's just a chance it won't meet everyone's expectations, which, nothing's gonna always meet all your expectations.
Yeah.
But there have been some hints in other movies that point to this being a huge deal.
Yeah.
I won't say anything because I don't know what you have and haven't seen, and I don't want to spoil anything for the viewers.
Right. So, again, this is a gaming podcast. We should keep to the games. And
Spider-Man has a game. Boom. Relevate.
You.
So, anyway, speaking of games, we'll move on to Blizzard. And this is where our second high-ranking official has left. In this instance, though, Jen O'Neill only assumed joint duties of Blizzard in August, which it does feel like forever ago, but it wasn't even half a year ago. By the end of the year, she is going to step down from the company. Now, when the original president, J. Allen Brack, stepped down, O'Neill and another guy, Mike Ibarra, took over his position.
Ibarra, I believe.
And, it was a woman of color in half the position and a white man in the other half.
Yeah.
And so now that she's stepping down, it is just, white man in charge again. Whoa, woo. But the part that I think is most important to take away from this article is what this comment by Prime Directive, which is a great username, made. And I've been reading a lot of the comments on these articles lately because some of them have, interesting points of view. They quote this from the article. This energy has inspired me to step out and explore how I can do more to have games and diversity intersect and hopefully make a broader industry impact that will benefit Blizzard and other studios as well. And this person says that to them this reads as, despite my position, I'm hamstrung from making effective change inside Blizzard, and the frustration of being stonewalled is energizing me to go somewhere else and do there what I can't here. And, Blizzard is not very open to change.
You don't say, Steven. How could you tell? I mean, I don't remember any stories we've covered here that shows they've been ineffective in change and have deliberately halted attempts to, change their image or their entire policies. Just, this is coming out of left field for me, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I say I think we did cover, Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra being hired for Activision Blizzard. And while I was very cynical, I was, a bit pessimistic about the whole thing, I at least wanted to somewhat believe that maybe that, slowly but surely some kind of change would happen. But also in the back of my mind, I thought, this is purely a PR stunt. This is purely, she is just there to say, see, we don't hate women. See? Woman right there, huh? Look, we're doing better than the other studio. They just hired a dog and called that their one female employee. So, hey, come on, give us a chance. Come on, give us a chance. Give
us your money. Give us your money.
Yeah, we're Overwatch. Hey, we're Call of Duty. Come on, you know us.
Come on, Tracer's gay. Diversity.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Blizzard is all talk.
All talk and all buyouts, man. And I am, I'm sure it's good stuff for the people that lose their jobs, but and I hope they find other work. But I am secretly hoping the whole thing burns to the ground.
Uh-huh.
And that
I hope that talented employees at Blizzard decide to leave the company and start their own development companies.
That'd be great. And it would be fitting because, again, Activision has done nothing but bought out a bunch of indie companies that were just starting out or have slowly but surely pulling out some hit games. And again, there's so many examples of this, of smaller indie developers getting bought up by them, that they don't really do anything for them or help them out, and then just the studio just dies out, or they just close it down entirely. But they own the rights to those games now because they bought them, and I say good riddance for Activision. You can't hurt no indie developers now.
I can't believe there was a point in time where I wanted to work at Blizzard. Because they seemed to have a good working environment when I had gone to see them, and that's where my other mother worked and where my adoptive aunts worked. But None of them work there anymore. And then with all this
don't
news
say,
out, it's
Steven.
just... But yeah, and our last story is about Sega and Microsoft. And you know what? I think we should have Mark Zuckerberg come and tell this one. It is, after all, about the metaverse.
Today we're discussing the greatest crossover in human history. Yeah.
I'm Pickle Rick!
Ignore the Avengers. Ignore the Pickle Rick. Imagine, if you will, Sega and Microsoft uniting into one amongst the metaverse.
Amongst us.
Amongst us. Join us. Join. Sorry. You know, that pops up sometimes there.
Channeled as Zuckerberg.
Ugh. Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, Sega is making the moves to create their own metaverse, pretty much. You know, basically, as the real life Mark Zuckerberg was here a moment ago saying, you know, this little hub world where you have all your favorite brands and fictional characters all in one place, and Sega is realizing that, you know, hey, they got some big brands, you know, like Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, gotta go fast. You know, Super Monkey Ball and Persona, and those certainly would be big draws, but they know they can get even bigger draws if they at least like start a partnership with another company, another big game company, and well, not so much ready to like partner up with Nintendo so far, because let's be real, they'll do their own metaverse. They can easily do their own metaverse all on their own.
It's called Smash Brothers.
Yeah, pretty much. In fact, I guarantee you that'll be the next Smash. That'll be the next Smash game.
I do not want another Smash clone. We already have like 3 now. It's gonna lose its novelty.
It's not a clone if it's made by the same company who made it. Don't you know that?
So I think,
I am joking, by the way. I am not looking forward to that either.
I figured you were joking. So I think Sega's actually planning on not really, I think they're planning on using Microsoft's cloud computing technology, which, interestingly, Sony is also doing. 2 years ago, they struck a deal with them, which is funny because, you know, PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you know, maybe this is a sign of like all these companies like finally coming together, putting aside their console wars and holding hands and finding ways just to trap us all in a virtual reality.
Uh-huh. If you die in the game, you die in real life.
I don't even really like Ready Player One, but
Is that where it's from?
Well, no, not that phrase. No, that's from a really bad. That's from a really bad horror movie that like people only remember that trailer.
I gotta Google it.
And just that guy singing it, but like I cannot. Yeah, you Google where it came from, but yeah, it's from a horror movie. The trailers would play that line all the time. That's the thing that people remember the most, because like the movie itself is just garbage.
Stay Alive is what it's from.
Yes, that yeah. Stay as far away from my TV as possible, man, because I don't ever want to watch that.
Man, ever. You know, I'm so stupid. For some reason, I thought it came from Spy Kids 3D.
You see, that's the thing. It's like most people say either Spy Kids 3D or Gamer. Remember that movie Gamer? That's like has like Gerard Butler and Michael C. Hall.
No, but remember,
again, that was.
I don't watch a lot of movies, so keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, but it's like that was the one where this one teenager, it's sort of like this gaming world, but like you could literally control a person with your controller, and they're kind of your avatar, kind of. And the deal was, and the thing is, like those people were like convicted felons, that had to serve their sentence by like becoming basically the avatars for like whatever computer thing they were doing. It's not it's an interesting premise, but like it is so dumb and sleazy and just it's just it's not by the same people who did the what are those movies? The Crank movies. They did the Crank movies, and also that second Ghost Rider movie. And it has that same energy and attitude and humor that I'm not really a fan of. It's very bro-y.
It's a Chad movie.
Chad movie, yeah. This episode should be called a tangent episode because we keep talking about things other than the main topics.
Yep, we're sorry, but we've never really claimed to be, a news show. We talk about the news, but that doesn't make us a news show. Hey, just like Fox News! That was the worst, connection we could have made, but we made it. Also, Animal Crossing. As you can see on my screen, I finished downloading the update because the update is out! Some people have gotten it early.
I keep forgetting you're playing games while we're doing this, because I'm just like, wait, we have Animal Crossing? Oh, wait, no, you're playing a game while we're doing this, because, I don't know. I can't see that. We're not in the metaverse yet. If this were imagine, if you will, Jordan, the metaverse, in which you could interact with your friend Steven's Animal Crossing games, and connect with all of their villagers at once. While we secretly steal all your information and track all your data and sell it to darker parts of the website.
No, see,
ignore that part.
It's not secret. We just never bothered to read the terms of service.
I mean, you're not wrong, but also it's still.
You're like, don't attack me like that.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. I know that probably not reading the long terms agreements thing was going to bite me in the end, but not like this. Not like this.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't read the terms of service. It's just, I get the general gist. Now, if I'm signing a contract, and yeah, technically, when you agree to terms of service, you're signing a contract. But if it's an actual contract that matters and not Facebook, yeah, I'll read it, but it's Facebook. They're gonna get my information one way or another.
I swear they were trying to get my information while I was trying to fix my thing on here, because okay, so a little background for all you listening. Facebook was just not working on my Google Chrome. I always use Google Chrome. I always have. I mean, I'll use Firefox, when it's available and everything. But I did not bother to use a Microsoft Edge that's on my computer, ever, until now, because that's the only way that using Facebook's video, voice chat thing was gonna work. And before that, they kept saying we detected that someone was trying to hack your information. Someone was trying to find something about you, look into your data.
All right.
You tell us what you were doing before that, and it's that's the kind of thing that someone trying to get my information would say to me. I type in, what were you doing before you were potentially hacked? I was like, whoa. I'm sorry, who are you?
So
that's something a hacker would say.
For that, I actually suggest you go and you clear your cache and your cookies, or I guess it's cache.
Yeah.
In your browser, and see if that'll fix the Facebook problem. Because sometimes websites that you go to will they'll put malicious. It's not malware, but it's code that will try to. It's JavaScript files that'll sometimes they'll make windows pop up, or sometimes websites like Facebook will detect them and be like, oh, there's malware. So I suggest trying to clear your cache and see if that will fix it.
Okay.
I'll send you a link.
Okay, sounds good. But anyway, is that going to be it for today?
I think that is going to be it for today. I think we covered everything. I finished my puzzle I was doing, and we are right at an hour. So...
Yes.
Till next time, stay cool.
Barbecue.